Hey guys, so I had an email requesting one example of a little bit more complicated molecule in terms of naming the structures based on the IUPAC nomenclature, okay? So I've got one more example here that's a little bit more complicated, and hopefully if you could pause the video and give this a go by yourself, if you manage to get it right, then I'm pretty confident you'd be well set for anything that an exam might throw at you, okay? So we have this molecule here. So I've already written it all out, and then my cat decided to crumple the paper. So apologies for it looking a bit messy, but it's all written out, so I'm not doing it again. So the first step, according to the rules, is counting the most carbons in the longest continuous chain. Okay, so if you go from left to right, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but as I said before, it's always important to check the branches. And if you come from this branch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's still 6 carbons, so it doesn't matter where you start. But because it's 6 carbons, it's going to be a hex-based molecule. Okay, so that's going to be the root. Then you have to look at, is it an alkane, an alkene, or an alkyne? That should always be step number 2. Okay. In this case, you can see that there's one double bond in the molecule, so it's going to be an ene, okay? So that's going to be the suffix that you use, okay? But then you have to figure out what position the carbon is at, okay? In this case, it's carbon 2, because if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's if you go from left to right, but if you go from right to left, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I haven't made that very clear, have I? 5, 6. But you can see clearly if you go from right to left, you'll end up with both the alcohol and the alkene at the lowest position. Okay, so you want to go from right to left. So in this case, it's going to be hex 2-ene. Okay, so the next step then is, are there any other functional groups? In this case, there's an alcohol. So it's going to be all at the end. So you're going to have 2 suffixes in this case. In the last case, I only showed you things that just had alkenes or just alcohols, but I thought I'd combine the 2 just to give you an example of a little more complicated one. Okay. So again, what position is that functional group in? So because we're numbering from right to left, it's going to be a 1-all. Okay. So far we have hex 2-ene 1-all. Okay. Then are there any branches? So what you have here is on carbon 3, you have a methyl group, a CH3, and at carbon 4, you have an ethyl group, a CH2CH3. Okay, what positions are they in? So the methyl is at the 3 position, and the ethyl is at the 4 position. So just to be clear, just going to get rid of the old numbers because I didn't use 2 different color pens. Okay. So then, as same as before, you have to put them in alphabetical order, okay? So even though numerically the methyl group comes first and then the ethyl group, it's important, as I said before, that all of the branches need to be in alphabetical order. So it's going to be 4 ethyl, 3 methyl. So then you put all those bits of information together, okay? So first of all, you start with your hex. Then you have 2-ene 1-all, so hex 2-ene 1-all, and then you have 4 ethyl, 3 methyl, okay? So this is probably far more challenging than you'd be expecting to see in your exams in a couple of weeks' time. But if you are able to answer a structure as difficult as this, then I'm fully confident that you're definitely going to be able to answer anything the exam throws at you, okay? So I know this is a relatively short video, but it was just because someone requested a bit more of a difficult example just to see if they could push their limits. So as always, you can ask me to make a video on absolutely anything on the course, even if it's something I've already gone over. I'm more than happy to prepare some examples to go through, but bear in mind we will also be going through some not necessarily past exam questions, but certainly ones that are very, very similar to questions you might see in an exam. So all these videos again are made as part of a fundraiser I'm doing to raise money for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. The link to the GoFundMe page is in the description below. So now that we've passed nearly €500 at the time I'm making this video, it's becoming very clear that I will never be able to do one video for every €10 I receive. So from this point on, it'll be one video for every €20 that I receive, and then the more and more money we have, that'll start to decline simply because of the fact there's only so many hours in the day and I can only make so many videos. But I'm confident I'll be able to cover more than enough information for all you guys to feel really confident going into your exams. Thanks very much.